Maybe she's already on the edge. You see where I'm coming from? And you're overextending a kindness and you think you're not doing anything wrong. You're being harmless in the situation. You just want her. Hi guys, greetings. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I know I have been gone for a while, but I was taking some much needed time out with my family and I'm back. So let's jump into this topic. We're going to talk about 5 reasons why people did you dirty out of nowhere. Okay? All right, so number 1, they are projecting. People sometimes project how they're feeling onto you, and sometimes they even do so unknowingly, right? So our relationships can get complicated, and sometimes feelings get overmixed, and perhaps they're just having a bad day, or they have been feeling insecure about something for a while, and then out of the woodwork things go good for you in that arena, and that can just really set people off sometimes. Do you see where look, we all have a story, right? And so does the one that hurt you, right? They have a story as well. And so sometimes people, they unfold, right? And so they reveal parts of their feelings towards you when they're more focused in a crisis. They're more focused on their crisis. And so how they really actually been feeling about you, it will start to reveal itself because they can't maintain that fraudulent persona that they typically will utilize around you, right? And so they also unravel, right? And so friends, coworkers, supervisors, family members, they unravel and they get triggered easily, right? When they have been through perhaps a trauma or a similar situation, a similar, misunderstanding that maybe went all the way left. And so you're thinking it's a simple miscommunication or misunderstanding. And, next thing you know, you fired. And you're like, I don't get it. And, you just don't know what they've been through or the way they have chosen to perceive the situation. So the reason they did you dirty out of nowhere is because they're projecting. Kind people, we tend to go wrong when we overextend, right? Our unlimited hospitality and our generosity to loved ones and friends, without being fully aware of their emotional state, because sometimes you have to meet people where they are at, and sometimes the situation just it requires more distance, or perhaps you got to make sure your boundaries, always you have to make sure your boundaries are in order, because if you're not aware of where they're at and you're overextending all of that kindness and that generosity, trust me, it ain't gonna always go how you think. Okay, I know that from experience. Let's think about it like this, right? You're trying not to be nosy. Maybe you notice that they're not in a good spot, but you don't want to be all in somebody's business. However, spiritual warfare is very real. So once you're awakened, you must accept this truth so that you can use the spirit of discernment to decide whether or not your boundaries need to be safeguarded with this relationship. Concerning this relationship, you always got to be watching your circle. You see where I'm coming from? So look, because, y'all may be cool. However, maybe she's already on the edge. You see where I'm coming from? And you're overextending a kindness and you think you're not doing anything wrong. You're being harmless in the situation. You just want her to, come to your event. She may be, guarded and untrusting at that time because of what she's going through, but you weren't nosy. You didn't press the issue, so you don't know what's really going on. You did that misstep by assuming that that person was going to be able to show up for you the right way, but this event is important to you, right? And so all your kindness that you're extending, they might project it and take that as you not caring about what they're going through. It's just something that happens. You see where I'm coming from? And so let's say you invite them to your housewarming because you just got a new house, right? And maybe that's your family member, but they're going through something and you don't know. So they say, okay, just okay. That's it. You don't get a congratulations, I can't wait, I'm going to show up for you, I'm so excited. You don't get any of that. What you get is okay. And so You chit chat for a little bit, right? And you say, hey, there's no plus ones, it's family only, or it's just our group, or something like that, right? And that's your boundary. You are putting your boundaries in place. And their response is, oh, I'm not going to stay that long. And you're like, okay, that was weird, right? That was weird to you. That was your intuition telling you that things are not going right in this conversation. But it's family. So what you gonna do? As a super kind, nice person, right? You are gonna say, that's my cousin. You're invited. I'll see you there. That's fine. You're not staying long. It's no big deal. You have, asked them not to bring a plus one. And however, they show up to your housewarming party with a plus one, right? And not only do they show up with a plus one, they are also not speaking with you, right? Perhaps they are being distant. The communication is lacking, and the joy and the happiness and the energy, they have not raised it at your event. Instead, you're starting to notice that the energy is a little bit off. Maybe they're going through something, they're guarded, and they're feeling, untrusting. Their boundaries are, right there, and they're trying to show up for you. However, they're going through something. So remember, they're going to project that onto you. So something happens at the event and it sets them off. It sends them over the edge. You see where I'm coming from? So think about it. You swept a lot of things under the rug. There was a lot of little red flags right there that you didn't really pay attention to, right? So now you're wondering why they lashing out. That's a lash out, right? So we just learn from it, right? Because we have overextended that kindness, right? And we give what is called the benefit of the doubt. A lot of times we're given the benefit of the doubt when really we're forcing it where it doesn't fit. Do you see where I'm coming from? And that's number one. We have to celebrate our wins within our very, very close circle. You don't need to overextend to everyone else. If it's really important to you, because you're not always sure where that person is at, you want to keep that circle really small when it comes to your big wins. You see where I'm coming from? That's a very healthy boundary. Number two, they blame you for something, but you don't know what it is. It could be something that happened way back when, right? So with some of our longer relationships, it doesn't start to reveal itself until later on in the relationship, when maybe everything is going really good for you, that in actuality, they blame you for something. You see where I'm coming from? Now, maybe they're harboring some anger towards you, right? For something that happened when you guys were younger. So it could be the smallest things, especially with long relationships. And sometimes those relationships do expire because that grudge has just really taken hold. You see where I'm coming from? And so life is like this. So we do want to remember to be accountable, right, for our past and the things that we may have done, and to apologize, to know maybe it was something recent, right, or something that you know about. And we do want to make peace with our past. We do want to make peace with people that we love, right, because we all can do things to hurt one another. You see where I'm coming from? And so also, you don't want to stay around people once they grow cold. If you're feeling that the situation has got different, then it's time for you to get different and get up out of there. That's just a hard truth that you need to learn. When the situation changes, that's just God, removing you from that situation. And it's time for you to trust that intuition and just go with God. Okay, so do not force it where it doesn't fit. Number 3. Now, the third reason why people do you dirty out of nowhere is because of that stunt double energy, right? They want to be you. They want your charm, your charisma, your energy, right? They want what you have. Maybe they want your relationship, right? Maybe they're envious of your life, okay? Perhaps they're jealous of your parents, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your children, or your marriage, right? Your significant other, your boo. Perhaps they want them, or they just want a relationship like that. Maybe your couple goals, okay? Now, so your assets. You just got a new car. You just got a new house. They're jealous. Or your opportunities, your job opportunities, your contracts that you're landing, right? You see, what it really is this is just you. It's your aura, right? And it's your lifestyle, perhaps. And so envy, it can be really tough. And you don't want to underestimate this one right here. Your position in the circle. You see where I'm coming from? That's really a lot of times where the envy will lie, is that the weight that you hold within your circle, maybe they just really feel like it's their season. You see where I'm coming from? And they realize that maybe they got to play a little dirty. So they'll do you dirty out of nowhere. You see where I'm coming from? Okay, so envy is very unhealthy, and it will unravel a friend group as easy as peeling a banana. Okay, so if you have someone that has become jealous and they basically fed up with you, right? And so they feel validated in some of the things that they do. And envy sometimes shows up on their end as them finally not being so nice about how you've been doing them. It can happen like that. It's weird. Life is like this. And what you want to do in a situation like this is you want to go ahead and curve that drama, because that's going to bring drama into your life. And you don't want that. But that's just one of the reasons why people do you dirty. It's because they want to be you. They want what you have. Number 4, because you allow them to. The 4th reason people do you dirty out of nowhere is because you've always allowed it. You're a doormat. You're not taking accountability for your actions, right? And so now people walking all over you. And if they see one person do it, perhaps you have a sibling that you've been letting them walk all over you for years. Maybe it's their spouse that wants to walk all over you because they have witnessed that you allowed this in your life. And you can't play victim. You can't have the victim mentality about it. Really, you just need to get your boundaries in order, okay? So people will do what you allow them to, right? And it will escalate because you've always understood their bullshit. And you can't always do that. Sometimes you can't excuse everything. You have to say, you know what? This is crossing my boundaries. I have to check you on in. Okay, so the 5th reason, number 5. The 5th reason they do you dirty out of nowhere is because they don't need you anymore. You see where I'm coming from? You really start to find out how a person feels about you once they get up. Maybe you've been helping them through something and they finally get back on their feet. Or perhaps they go a step further and they've made some accomplishments all on their own. And they got a big win, right? But they've been harboring feelings towards you the whole time and you don't know. You don't realize it. When they don't need you anymore, oh, you're going to know they don't like you. It's going to seem like it's not out of nowhere. But really, that's how they always felt, And so when a person doesn't need you anymore, they'll do you dirty out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you right now. The reality of the situation is they've been doing you dirty little by little, but they've been keeping nice, just enough, playing nice so that they can keep using you. And sometimes, especially with the chosen one, we can get so, we overextend that generosity, right? And we get so wrapped up in the ability to give, and that brings gratitude to us. We feel grateful because we're able to give. And so you don't realize that maybe, just maybe, you are in a one-sided relationship and you're the giver, they're the receiver. They don't need you anymore. They gonna get on that ass because that's what they've been wanting to do, because perhaps they're not a nice person. And you always wrote it off, giving them what? We talked about it. The benefit of the doubt. Yes, because you recognize that not everyone is like you. However, sometimes you got to take a page out of their book and you need to tell them to keep that same energy. And you need to get up. Relationships expire, especially when you start to notice that they don't need you anymore. However, they're not giving back what you were putting in, right? When they get their come up, all of a sudden you cut off. you're not being invited to the big parties. You're not even a part of the celebration. And if you are, it's only as a background spectator. See, people will do you like that. And when you start to notice that, it's very healthy for you to walk away and say, okay, they've grown, they're in a new season, I'm not a part of it, and you just move on. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself swirled up in some drama. And I don't want to see that happen, okay? So I'm here for you. And that was 5 reasons why people do you dirty out of nowhere. Guys, I hope you're staying healthy, staying well, be blessed. I'll see you in the next video.